Welcome back. Let's go back to the defaulting customer data set. Remember in the last video, I showed you how you could compute default rates broken out by some categorical variable like the payment type in our case. What I'm going to show you in this video is how you could take it up by another dimension. Suppose that we want to study how default rates not only depend on payment type, but also another variable. Okay, so the simplest case would be if you had another categorical variable. So we got gender sitting around. Let's just go, drop that in for now. All I have to do, and this is just so simple, is I can go drop it up here next to the columns. And what you see is that now we've broken out default rates by both payment type and gender. So you have 4 different panels for the payment type, and you have two different columns for male or female. Let's say we didn't want line graph, well, we just go back to bar graph. And what you can see is that, okay, males are a little bit more likely to default with book than females. Males are a bit more likely with statement. Not much of a difference for checking and credit. The main differences are of course across book and statement versus the EFT methods. I'll just show you another thing. Let's say you wanted to switch the paneling. I'm just going to grab this and change the order. So now notice we have a panel for males and a panel for females. What I would recommend is trying some stuff. And sometimes it's much more easy. If you want people to compare across payment types, this is a better graph. If you want people to compare, within payment types across genders, this is probably a better graph. Okay, I'm going to go back to lines for a second, and I'm going to show you another really cool trick that we can do with this. So we can also grab gender and drop it on color. Now what it's doing is we have the females are sort of this yellowish orange, the males are blue, and we have 2 lines on top of each other showing them. Okay, and again, you could interchange this if you want. We could swap, make it the rows and columns if we wanted. All really easy to do. All right, great. That's how we would do it with gender. I'm going to get gender out though for now. Let's go back to the graph we had. Suppose that we wanted to use a numeric variable like the down payment. Well, we have to make this into a categorical variable before we can do what we were just doing. So one way to do this, let's go to the log down variable. That's had the tail already pulled in for us. We created this in class. And if we want to make this into a categorical variable, we have to bin it. So let's go create some bins. And here's what I'm going to do. I note that the min is 0, the max is close to 4. This really isn't perfect. It's just quick and dirty. I'm going to make the size of the bins 1 so that I have about 4 bins. Now there's no exact right number. If I would have put the size of the bin as sort of 0.5, then I'd get a few more bins. Let's just do 1 for now. And so now what you're going to have is a log down with some bins up here. This is the variable I just created, and I can do all the stuff that I was just doing. So let's go drop that up here in the columns, and now you're going to see on the horizontal axis, we have the down payment from sort of really low to moderately low, moderately high, across the different payment types. So here's book, statement, checking, and credit. I think the story is very interesting here because what's happening is when the down payment is high, the default rate is low regardless of the payment type. However, when the down payment is very low, so it's like the 0 bucket, you don't have to worry if they're using checking. Credit, not much. You have to worry a lot though with these book people and the statement. All right, so again, if you wanted to have separate lines, just go drop it into color. And now we have 4 lines that show the same relationship. We can make this a little bit wider if we want. So just hover over it. It's kind of a pain to do this. All right, right there, then grab it, and you can kind of pull it out. So, again, what I'd recommend you do is try all of these graphs and see which one works the best for you.